Okay. Okay, so, have you ever paid to see a movie, put down your nearly $15, going up to 20 if you pay to see it at the AMC theater with the reclining chairs? You sat down with your box of nachos, your blue slushie, and you excitedly wait to see a movie, and then all of a sudden the movie starts, and as the movie keeps going progressively on, you start to realize this is gonna suck, and it keeps sucking more and more, and you say, well, it can't possibly suck anymore, and somehow it does, and then by the time the movie is over, you kind of wish you hadn't seen it. Yeah, then you must have paid to see Lucy with Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman, a movie that genuinely sucked. Let's start off. It's good visual porn. Let me introduce myself. I'm Roman. I love movies, and I'm very much the optimist, and I try not to shit on everything. This movie I can't help but shit on right now. Let's get the good stuff out of the way. It's great visual porn. Great visuals. I don't think they'll survive to the DVD or the download or whatever. You can choose to watch it on TV. It's not going to work out well at home. It's going to fall apart. I can already tell. It usually happens that way anyway. I mean, The Matrix fell apart once you got it at home on DVD. This is a movie about a drug that transforms Scarlett Johansson into a super genius with superpowers. However, in order to even begin to sit and watch this movie without wanting to rip your brain out of your head and stomp on it, you would probably have to be on some kind of drug. It starts off, she is just this girl who was hanging out with her boyfriend or some guy that she was dating at a club the night before, so she has a hangover. And for some reason, they're at this building. I'm guessing she went with him to deliver this package, and she had no intention of going in, but he tricks her into going in. To which you find out he's kind of a courier of illegal goods, and it makes you go, well, why'd you bring her? Was the intention just to have her go in there for you? I mean, really, you're a courier for illegal goods. You know your job is shady and it's with shady people. Why'd you even bother? If you have a problem with shady businesses and shady people, why even get into the business of being an illegal courier in the first place? But okay. Bad guy has her boyfriend shot when she's in there, which kind of leads me to believe that the bad guy is just a really stupid bad guy, because that's just inviting trouble. You're making things more complicated than they really have to be. And then they take her forcibly up to see the main bad guy. And I guess the directors and producers said to themselves, well, this all seems kind of contrived and stupid. We have no way of making the audience believe this, because in general, when it comes to sci-fi and fantasy, you're asking the audience to believe a lot. Don't ask them to believe more than they really have to. But this movie said, well, let's make them believe more than they really have to. But let's give ourselves the out of saying, well, this isn't just a bad guy. He's a bad guy that's a little bloodthirsty. So you see the main bad guy, and when you see him, there are two dead bodies on the ground. His hands are covered in blood. He's wearing eye goggles in order to keep the blood from his eyes. And he apparently doesn't speak English. Oh, by the way, this starts out in Taipei or Taiwan, somewhere. I saw Taipei Tower in this. And he doesn't speak English, which is weird to me because a lot of people speak English. And if you're in a crooked, shady business, you're dealing with a lot of different kinds of crooked, shady people, many of whom probably speak English. And he doesn't speak a word of English for some reason. No reason whatsoever. Taxi cab drivers, they speak English. The main bad guy in this movie doesn't speak English. He has to have the bell operator or something. Somebody who, the concierge downstairs, translate for him. He forces her to become his drug mule for this drug called CPH something or other. And sorry, I'm just a little mind blown about what I just saw. He forces her to be a drug mule, and she's going to be a drug mule with 3 other guys who've also been forced to be drug mules. That's what I'm supposing, because it seems like they've been forced. From the moment you see them, they don't seem like they want to be there. I'm guessing that was natural acting on the actor's part, because when they read the script, they said, "No, I need the paycheck, but I genuinely don't want to be here." Let's see. They black bag her and the other guys. She gets taken to some weird place with some guy who has some kind of weird attitude, and he decides to knock her on the ground and kick her a couple of times. Oh, by the way, they put the drugs inside her stomach and sewed her up. So this guy is kicking a drug mule who just came out of surgery. Okay, alright, fine. So we have a stupid head bad guy that kills people recklessly because he's apparently just bloodthirsty. And then we have his goon who has a weird attitude and a weird power trip and decides to kick the transportation for the product that they're trying to sell, because that's what you want to do. You want to kick the drug mule after they had surgery when you're about to shove them on an airplane. Okay, so let's just... I've already went through that part. Let's see. Scarlet Johansson is essentially... what was the name of her character in the Avengers? Black Widow. She's essentially Black Widow, but with superpowers. The acting is flat from her once the superpowers are realized and what she can possibly do. Oh, God. Wow. Sorry, I'm just so mind-blown by how stupid this movie is. Let's see. Let's skip a whole bunch of different other things because it's just hard for the course for this movie. That it's just going to be really contrived. Towards the end, Scarlett Johansson basically lets the other 3 drug mules die. Even though they were forced to do the same thing she was forced to do, they just weren't pretty enough to be, like, forced to... they weren't pretty enough for the goons to once have sex with and then abuse. She didn't have sex with anybody in this movie, just so you know. Let's see. Towards the end, spoiler alert, she becomes God. I don't even know where to begin. I went to see this movie because I saw the trailers for it prior, and I said this is going to be a good movie. I'm looking forward to seeing Scarlett Johansson in a movie all by herself, leading in a movie. I figured, oh no, it's going to get buried by Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh my God, this was so bad. It was so bad. Oh God, this was terrible. Okay. Number one, if you're a science geek, you know that whole thing of we only use 10% of our brain thing is a myth. So, fine, I'm willing to throw that away in order to go along with the premise of this movie. But, oh God, this is so stupid. This movie was just so bad. Do not waste your money to see this movie. I feel like Morgan Freeman and Scarlett Johansson owe me an apology and some money. That would actually make me feel better about this movie. If Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman walked out of somewhere, came to me personally, apologized, and gave me my $12 back for this. No, you know what? I want the money back for the nachos and the blue slushy too. So roughly, I'd say $23. Yeah, give me my money back, both of you. You have it. Got paid for this movie, and we'll call it even. And I recommend to everybody out there watching this right now, have not gone to see Lucy movie yet, don't pay to see this movie. It is god awful, it is terrible, and I guarantee that you will regret it. Bye.